guys, Nick here. You're listening to the official podcast of 4PlayerNetwork.com, a weekly live show about video games. We're proud to say that we've been at this since 2008 and have remained 100% independent since day one, and that means you'll never have to hear a sponsored ad on this show. So if you want to support what we do, all we ask is that you consider making our silly little show part of your weekly rotation. You can tune in when we record these episodes live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Time on twitch.tv/4playerpodcast, all spelled out. If that's not your thing, though, you can also subscribe to the show on your preferred podcast service, join our community Discord at discord.gg/4player, or, if you're so inclined, send us a couple bucks a month on Patreon. And that's it for shameless self-promotion. Time to talk about the latest and greatest in the world of video games. Let's get started. Alrighty. Hey everybody, welcome to 4Player Podcast, episode 856. It is November 20th, 2025. I am your host, Nick Henderson, joined tonight by Brad Simons.
Hey Nick, I'm doing great today.
Fuck, I fucking hate you. Crispy's joining us. Hello, Crispy.
Hello, that actually did sound robotic.
and Chris Davis. How you doing, Chris?
I'm also
Davis, oh my
doing well.
God.
Thank you very much.
Wait,
I just
which
slipped and
kind
said
of robotic
Chris.
are you referring to, Crispy?
You know, like autism.
Oh, okay. Well, that is what I was wanting to know.
Oh my God!
You're not supposed to say
welcome.
things like that within the first 60 seconds of a YouTube video.
Oh, we never adhere to those rules. Anyways, guys, welcome to the show. Video games. We're here to once again talk about the wild, wacky world of video games. And boy, do we have some stuff to talk about tonight, as is apparent in tonight's trailer talk, which, in case you were not aware, if you want to tune in to watch these live, we record them on Thursday nights. We now do Thursday. We used to do Tuesday. We now do Thursday. 8 p.m. Central. We hang out, watch trailers, and then record these little podcasts live on Twitch. We're going to talk about Metroid Prime 4. This has been an unexpected curveball thrown at us regarding
No,
that
it
game.
hasn't.
I mean, that's to be...
Okay. It certainly was an unexpected fucking curveball.
Let me just get through the housekeeping, and then we can dive into it. We also got some games to talk about. We're going to talk more about Dispatch. I think everybody here now has played at least some degree of Dispatch. So we'll talk about that.
Is this, you
Brad,
didn't finish it?
I only finished the first episode.
Oh,
Buddy!
I mean,
Most people didn't binge it like you did, Crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crispy finished it, and I think Chris Davis did as well.
I played it. I played the whole thing after we recorded last week's episode. Like,
Yeah, so
as soon as we were done.
that's sick. So we're going to talk more about that. Brad has finally brought footage of Absolum, so we'll see some of that.
I swear, I had footage.
We've talked about this, Brad. I feel like you just tuned shit out. I said you brought footage months ago when it was a demo.
No, I remember. I remember that part. But I'm saying I recorded footage. Like something was lost. Something was lost. Like I was like, "Oh, I'm going to talk about Absolum," and you forgot to bring it up, and I forgot that I brought it up in the first place, so it just didn't happen.
Gotcha.
But it's
gotcha.
you know what's fucking funny? When you asked me, "Oh, do we could have a fucking show? There's not 12 games to talk about," and I was like, I originally typed Trails in the Sky and Mega Bonk, completely forgetting again that I had still not spoken about Absolum, and I almost forgot again.
Absolum, the most forgettable game of 2025.
Yeah. No, you motherfuckers.
No, it's not.
Right?
No, it's not.
It's not. It's really good.
God damn it, that's the joke, Chris Davis. All right. We'll finally talk about it tonight, but I just got a little bit of housekeeping to get through. I've already mentioned our new recording schedule. I'm going to be mentioning that at the top of the show each week for the next couple of weeks. But I also want to just get this out there because I mentioned it in Discord yesterday. I have some plans for the beginning of 2026 in regards to our website, and I was looking to give it's been a while since we've updated kind of our branding package. So I put the call out in Discord. If there's any graphic designers in our community that would love to work with me to like touch up our logo and give a new coat of paint, DM me in Discord. I am willing to pay you guys. I'm looking for some interest. If not, I'm going to move forward with it myself, but just wanted to put that out there because I have some changes in mind.
Don't let them make us be sexy pinups or whatever.
No, that's not the plan. The website I have some plans for the website specifically in terms of kind of just downsizing it and making it kind of match. What was the word you used when we were talking earlier, Chris Davis? I've already forgotten it.
He forgot.
Slimline
He fucking forgot it.
cleaner. Like it's, I have
leaner. You said leaner.
Leaner.
The website's gonna be a bit leaner and more of kind of like an informational thing about the podcast and community stuff. So, and less of a blog. So, anyways, I have plans, but I'm looking for someone to hopefully work with me in December to kind of like spruce up because I do like our branding package, but I do want to give it it's been like years since we've changed it, so I'm looking
Can I
to
say
spruce
that,
it up.
Nick?
Mm-hmm.
Can I say that I've recalled, or I partially recalled the most forgettable game of the year. I can't remember the name, but Bayou Swamp game. Bayou
Oh,
Yeah, oh
South of
God,
Midnight.
South of Midnight is the most forgettable game of this year.
I did.
I remembered it.
Damn it.
I did kind of forget that as well. But yeah. Anyways, I see a couple people in chat who might be interested in the graphic design thing. If you're interested, DM
One of
me
them
in
was
Discord. We'll
Carlos, who
talk.
said he's gonna con you with AI.
Not okay. That's not happening. I don't. Yeah, that's not happening.
I bet he could. Though. Like I bet
he could. Yeah, he
He could be
could.
like,
Yeah,
yo,
of
a friend of
course.
mine, like, here's some stuff. What do you think? Like he could pull that off. Well, maybe not now.
That is true. But I'm not interested
maybe
in
not
using
now.
AI. I'm not interested in using AI. But yeah, if you're interested, DM me. We'll talk. See where it goes. It's going to be it's going to move relatively quickly because, like I said, I have ideas in my head and I would like to roll it out January 1st. So it's kind of like kicking off the new year, clean, clean slate kind of thing. Anyways,
Can I say something, Nick?
you can say whatever you want.
This is a question.
Your
This is a
podcast
question.
too.
This is just a podcast. I don't think I've ever seen another person on Twitch with an all caps name. How did Carlos do that? And why am I not? Do I not see more names that are all caps? Is it just like a faux pas? Like everyone knows not to do that?
Like,
Could just be a legacy thing.
I mean, it's like
So
when
weird.
people like text or chat in all caps, it's shunned. But Carlos is Carlos. He doesn't give a shit.
But I mean,
so,
it's a name.
But I mean, you can clearly do it because like Zlade in chat is all lowercase. Tarkus is capital T and capital S. So like you can clearly have control over capitalizing certain letters. He just did all of them.
I just never see that. I never see it. It's wild.
Yeah.
I feel like there would
wild.
be more people.
Touche. What the fuck, Crispy? Also, real quick, if you are watching at home as we record this live, if you were here for the pre-show a little bit, we are experiencing some mild technical difficulties tonight in terms of audio being a little questionable. Hopefully, it won't affect the final product if you listen on the go. But if you're watching us live, you may have to kind of bear with some slightly robotic tones.
Sometimes I sound like this.
Sometimes you do. That just reminded me of a Key and Peele sketch.
Dude, the best chat screen
stand-up
cap
comedian.
chat. That's a good one.
with the burn victim. Yeah.
The best Carlos chat screen cap though is the one with Spider-Man, where he's like, "Oh man, Spider-Man has a huge package in this," and then like Kenton or somebody's like, "Actually, that's pretty average," and he's like, "No." That's the best one.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That is fantastic. All right, guys. We're gonna get into it here in just a second. I also want to spend at least a little bit of time talking about we don't give a ton of credence to this kind of thing, but they did announce the Game Award nominations, and there are some interesting things in there.
Like, I will only allow this conversation if we get to make fun of Jeff Keighley, who is not just.
That's not hard.
Because
that's par for the course, isn't it?
But,
yeah, but we're still gonna tune in and watch them happen.
He took a pretty big L recently too about the whole like trying to
AI
like disappear thing? There's that group that he was working with for the show for like in recent years.
It was like a game. It was like a developing like up and coming like game dev program.
Oh,
Yes.
and
It
now
was
it's
like
like
first
there's
time
you think it
devs
doesn't
that they were
exist.
like, yeah, he was like building this like mentorship program and this like thing to
Yeah.
like showcase these up and coming talents, and then like I guess apparently they put them all in a Discord server and that was it. Like,
And he got called out on it, and his response was not good.
yeah.
But yeah, whatever.
Dang.
Let's move on. We got to talk about Metroid and actual
Let's
video
talk
games.
about. Yeah, we'll save the impressions for after we get to these
Oh,
topics
is that
here.
true?
So let's fucking talk about
okay.
Metroid. I made the most relevant overlay for this particular topic.
I haven't
Metroid
seen
Prime
this.
4 ruined.
No.
Here
So-
we go.
So, people have been crashing out. Metroid
No.
Prime 4 is launching. I know. Crispy's not.
People
Crispy is on
certainly have, Crispy. Chill out.
Well,
No,
Let him
well.
intro this.
Specifically in this chat alone, Brad has been crashing out, and Crispy's been on some copium. That's fine. I'm just kidding. Anyways, we're gonna talk about it. So
He's primed to do well in Fantasy Critics, so he needs a big win. And I feel like you need to. I want some honest takes out of you tonight, Crispy. Okay, this is not about Fantasy Critics. It's not about the fucking score. I want honesty from you.
you say that like Crispy is
You
prone
made
to
me,
lie.
Brad.
No.
You made me, Brad.
No, I want to know. I want to know what.
I've
you
All
got
right,
actually
so
four
I learned it from
identifiers
watching
of
you,
defeat.
Dad.
Okay, so let me enter this real quick. So if you weren't aware, Metroid Prime 4, that game we've been waiting for like 10 or 11 years or whatever the fuck it's been, is launching in like 3 weeks on the Switch 2. And we're finally starting to get some like more details about it. And there's been preview coverage for it, and the latest round of preview coverage, I guess it was an IGN exclusive, I suppose, where they were talking. He was talking very positively about the things that are very Metroid Prime-y, right? Like the sense of isolation, the vibes.
No,
all
he
that
didn't
stuff.
say that. I mean,
No,
yeah,
I just watched the video.
No.
Listen,
But
fucking
you were
please.
describing the Metroid franchise, yes.
Yes, if you let me get the fucking intro out. Yes, he's describing the things that are very Metroid Prime being very nice, but then it took a turn, and he was very candid about his
surprised and
feelings for this.
disappointed because nobody saw this coming, because the game comes out in 2 weeks and nobody saw this coming, and they've been, for whatever reason, not saying anything about it until
With-
3 weeks before release.
I mean,
and
do you not feel like part of that has to do with the fact that they probably knew the reaction that people were going to have?
I don't
They
know.
did it
I don't
anyways?
know, actually. Like, so.
All right,
so
I haven't
here's-
even
here-
said what it is. I haven't even said what it is. So the crux of the matter is, in this preview, they revealed that there's multiple companions,
And one of
that
them is
are-
Chadley.
and one of them might as well be Chadley from Final Fantasy. There's multiple companions that are going to be spending a significant chunk of time with Samus as she's going around doing her thing. And in this demo, it focuses very heavily on one named Miles, who basically is giving like serious Rick Moranis vibes, I guess, and being
we
kinda
like
his-
Rick Moranis.
That
Well,
is-
we do.
we like
I guess
that's a
apologies.
little
more like
insulting
Rick
to
Moranis type
Moranis.
characters, you know what I mean? But doesn't necessarily fit with the vibe of Metroid. And also, the thing about Metroid, which we've talked at nauseum about on this podcast, and every podcast that talks about Metroid, is that like the thing that Metroid has always done, and the thing that people love about Metroid, is the sense of isolation and experiment and exploration and
Atmosphere
atmosphere and
being
and
alone on a
you can tell by
hostile
watching
planet.
the video. You can tell by watching the video that he has a significant impact on that, and you also hear like he's also for the sake of the preview footage, he has to like jump around a lot and like. But he says, believe me, a significant chunk of my demo was spent with this character who won't shut the fuck up, and maybe even scarier is like spending a lot of that time pointing out things that
Yes.
you should otherwise be figuring out for yourself, because that is Metroid. That is the
Yes.
crux of Metroid. And that's where the concern is. That's my intro.
Okay.
I know
So, like,
it's not
okay.
all doom and gloom, but it's cause
can
for
I?
concern.
We've all played God of War Ragnarok, right?
Yes.
And I know people like that
I do
series,
love that
right?
game.
And some people here even love it. And
But I also
like
never
everyone
I
agrees
never-
that it sucked ass, that like Atreus would be like pointing out parts of puzzles and shit when you
Yes.
just were barely even looking around. It's
Yes.
infuriating. Even the most like adoring fans of that series, all like I feel like we're all on the same page. That sucks. There's like hopefully on the next one, and I know because Sony Santa Monica is a smart developer that they're probably going to put in some options or tone that down because they're not idiots, right? People didn't like it. That's my biggest concern for this stuff. It's not the characterization of Miles, which let me tell you, I don't like any NPCs in my Metroid games. I did not like it in Metroid Prime 3. I do think that is a lesser Metroid Prime game. Metroid Other M, like the main reason that game sucks so fucking much is because the story and these other characters sucked ass, where Adam had to authorize Samus the use of her powers, which just was so fucked up.
Well,
I don't
in
care
Metroid
if
Prime
the other
3, like
characters are better than Miles. I don't want them with me. I don't want it to be an escort mission because if they die, you get a game over. Like I want
The
to be
funniest part of that
alone.
preview is
There
that
are
he was like
moments of
actively.
Metroid games that are like, yes, they're beautiful and like oftentimes like terrifying. There are legitimately the scary moments in a variety of Metroid games, and all of them. And having even someone in your comms with you is just wrong here. I don't like it in other franchises where like it's more appropriate, but like it's horrifying to put it in Metroid, in my opinion. Like
I
this is the last franchise to do it. Like
Go
I
ahead, Chris
mentioned it
Davis.
before the podcast, but like
Or not.
it's like a chatty, like imagine a chatty fucking NPC tell like, oh, don't worry about that door, it's locked, Mr. Silent Hill guy. Like like that would be horrifying, right? Because
I mean,
like if you
as a
think about
reminder,
what's core to something like Silent Hill or a Dark Souls, like things like that are very like, oh, there's an ambush up ahead, Mr. Souls guy. Like that would be horrifying. And to me, like that sort of atmosphere and isolation is as important to a Metroid game as it is to a Souls game or a Silent Hill game. It's fucked up. It's fucked
okay,
up, and I don't
can I
want it.
interject here real quick? Can I just real
Yeah.
quick to your point? And Chris Davis, I
Well,
apologize.
Chris
but
Davis wanted to, but
I know, but like
he loves it or something. I don't know.
specifically, you're attacking Silent Hill for real quick.
I'm just
And
giving examples of like,
as a reminder, there is a major chunk of Silent Hill 2 specifically, the most beloved game in that franchise, that is essentially an escort mission. You spend a lot of time with a secondary character,
yeah, okay,
but
but
it's
like
obviously handled differently. Anyways, Chris
yeah,
Davis, your point.
very differently.
I wanted to mention now, granted,
It's
I have not
otherworldly.
played Metroid Prime 3 in 18 years. 18 years. Think about that number for a second.
I played it yesterday, so tell me.
I don't recall any of those other companion characters being anything more than appearing in the intro and then ending up as like antagonist bosses. Like
Well,
not
I mean, there's
even doing
cutscenes with
anything
them.
else.
I
Okay,
mean, there are
yeah, but like
cutscenes with them and stuff.
there's a difference
It's not like
between
this.
cutscenes and companion characters you have to interact with.
100%. This is worse. I'm saying I didn't like the direction they were going. I thought after
And they just
18
leaned
years,
into it harder.
especially when you look at the first year of the footage that they've been showing, was like it seemed very safe. Oh, like to me, it looked like, oh, Retro just wants to get a very like Metroid Prime 1 inspired game out the door because that it's been 18 years and they probably don't even like a lot of the people at Retro don't even work there anymore. So
Yeah.
to me, to see another entry in the series after so long, to me this is like such an obvious like safe entry because they don't want to fuck it up. They don't want to fuck up what people love about it. Right? So I expected it to not go in the direction that Metroid Prime 3 was going, and that they were going to do it more like the most loved one that they just put out a remake for, Metroid Prime 1. So to see this was really surprising to me. And my worst fears realized because I talked about Metroid Prime 3 on this podcast all those years ago. And I was saying these same fucking things. I promise you.
I do think it is worth noting that, and you made this point, you were certain to make this point, that because there was other footage that came out that we watched a little bit of during trailer talk.
Yes.
And even the stuff in the preview before we started when he's not talking about Miles, all looked very impressive. And the other footage, like you're watching it and you're like, damn, this looks fire. Like,
Yeah.
there is stuff to be excited about here.
Absolutely.
It
And I
is
think it's still going to be a
concerning.
good video
Yeah,
game.
him
It is
saying,
concerning. Yeah.
Brad, you saying this is your worst fears realized is not true because you haven't fucking played the game.
No, but
We don't
for
know.
the for
Like,
this
we don't fucking
direction
know.
of like that Retro was taking Metroid Prime back then,
This
like
is his second.
continuing
feel
to
like
go in
the
that
fact
direction
that I
is
feel like the fact that they're okay, I don't know.
look, I don't
This
think
is
it's
not like
look,
an internally developed Nintendo game, right? Like it's not.
But
well,
it
Retro
hasn't been since the
Studios
first
is
one.
owned by
I know.
Nintendo.
I know. My point is like the whole like copying Atreus thing and like making this NPC that just like tells you how to play the game really feels like a Nintendo internal kind of decision. I could see like a Nintendo internal team making that kind of calculation and just being like not really connected with what with what the temperament is and
But we've also talked about how they handled
stumbling
Zelda,
like that.
right?
I don't really I don't understand how Retro could make a blunder like the
it's
one
their
everyone's
game.
assuming they've made that we don't
It's-
know that they've made.
I don't think to me this is not even surprising. It's surprising that it's Metroid. But like being influenced by like God of War, which is a massively successful series, is not like I almost don't even fault them.
But this
but
isn't
but
like this
it-
is like the one thing they took from God of War is the one
well,
thing
no,
that
like
they
no,
surely
not
themselves also didn't
Sony.
like.
Last of Us, like having a companion that's around constantly is a popular thing in like prestige fucking video games lately. I feel like.
But that character they made a good point in the preview is like when you do that thing, which people
You
do
have
like that
to,
thing. I like that thing. The characters, the companions you put in, they have to be likable, and the
but
immediate reaction to Miles is a negative one. But there are others.
There's going to be people like you, Nick, who are just worried that this guy sucks and hopes that the other guys are going to be good. And I believe that's going to be true. In fact,
I'm
I
also
even
hoping the
believe that
ratio
Miles is
of-
going to grow on us. And by the end of the game, we'll probably be like standing Miles. I believe that as well. But at the end of the day, I'm not in that camp. I don't want any of them. So like we are fearful of different things.
No, I acknowledge that. I mean, I'm probably closer to Crispy's camp than your camp, but I do
just feel like-
understand.
I want
I
to go
don't
back to
know,
the
I-
Silent
like-
Hill example because like you gave an example of like absolutely like pitch perfect, like you're gonna put a interaction in an atmospheric game like Silent Hill and it's perfect. Like that is the sort of like human interaction. I mean, that is the story of that game. And it's like you gave an incredible example of how you can do like an interaction that doesn't completely fuck up the atmosphere and
Yeah, this is
I
not
mean
bad.
like the interactions between you and other NPCs in the Silent Hill games are some of the best part, like things that help create that atmosphere. Like this Metroid was never that, but this doesn't feel like that at all. This doesn't feel like it adds to it. I think it might make a better story. I think it, but again, like the Metroid Prime games where you've learned about this world and these like races through like
Context
scanning objects
clues.
is a very
Yeah.
like Dark Souls way to read to absorb the story, where it's like it's the equivalent of like reading item descriptions in like a Souls game, which I know like fucking people like Chris Davis hate that, but like it's very a distinct part of this franchise, or the Prime part of this franchise is.
I know. I would say it's so distinct that like it seems crazy to just assume that Retro doesn't know that. Like
I'm
I
only
mean that
looking
is
at what's
true,
in front
but,
of
like,
me.
I know, and what's in front of us is not a lot, and like we're kind of just having this weird crash out. Like
I think a
It's
lot of
not
people
a
are
weird
reacting
crash out because like if it was, it's not a weird crash out because like again, like,
I mean, I get being
but
concerned.
a game
We
like
shouldn't be having this conversation until
no,
the
it's
game comes
no,
out, right?
no. Like from the perspective of like what Nick's saying, where they don't like Miles, like those people are jumping the gun. But from my perspective, where every single fucking Metroid game
That
is
there's
like,
just another person who has a voice, and that's
like I'm
automatically
saying,
bad.
the other Metroid games are not like this at all, except maybe Metroid Prime 3 and Metroid Other M. What I'm saying is there's a lot of Metroid experiences which are very much not this, and we already know it can't be that. Even with what little we've seen, we know it's not that anymore. And we've seen a lot more. Like if you look at that other footage, there's a lot of footage with Samus and the other companions. Like this is a core tenet of Metroid Prime 4. It is not like, because I know there's been a lot of arguments saying, well, it's just the tutorial. It's a tutorial thing, and it's not. Like
But I
every
mean, I don't.
you're even going to be
I
going
know,
out with
I know. I
multiple
like
companions.
The problem is this conversation is only going to go so far because there's going to come a point where it's like, oh well, I'm a real Metroid fan, and this is what I think Metroid is.
No.
Look,
I don't
that's
care
fine.
I
about
mean,
those
to
I know,
to
conversations.
I
Christy's
know, I
point,
know. But what I'm saying is like you're acting like this thing that we love about Metroid can't be present in the game because something else is present, which like I just don't think is true. Like I don't.
You're right. I mean, you're right. There are going to be moments where those companions are not going to be around, and I am going to like it. But
okay, on that note, just let me interject here. On that note, Crispy is right. There is a certain point where this conversation, at this point, because the game is not out yet and we have not played it, that we're going to start going in circles. So, with that in mind, we have talked about the
Sorta.
controversy. We have talked about our personal feelings related to that controversy
So I'm
as
just
it
saying.
stands now, and we're going to
Look.
readdress
Can
it
I
when the
just
game comes out.
like?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Listen.
No, go ahead.
This is a game on my list, right? Okay. Let's talk about the fantasy critic of it all, right? Like,
Yeah.
yes, I am a little concerned that this took a 92 down to an 85.
Yeah.
I'm a
Not
little
even
That's
that
fair.
low. Not even that low.
I'm a little
I think
concerned that that's the that this range I was expecting has opened up a little bit. Okay,
a little bit.
maybe.
Because
Dude, if
I
Hollow
want
Knight
to be
can't even
clear.
fucking
I want to be clear, Crispy, and this is related directly to what you're saying about score. Is the people who are only worried about Miles' characterization, I think, are going to end up liking the game a lot more than they're thinking. So the narrative is going to affect the score of this game, but people like me are not your average like video game critic. I don't think.
I like, yeah, I okay.
Because
I guess,
can I say
I genuinely like fantasy critic aside, like yeah, I'm a little concerned on the fantasy critic front of it, but like that aside,
Don't worry, Crispy, you're
the
not
thing
alone.
can't be like I feel like I have a little bit of shaky ground. You know, I'm speaking from kind of like an insecure position because I really like Super Metroid. I really like Metroid Zero Mission. I like a lot of the 2D Metroid I've played. I've never finished Metroid Prime. I've never played 2 or
you
3.
got close though. You
I've
got close.
tried to finish Prime and like I couldn't, just because of how I had to play it and like the control
Yeah.
situation and the platform
Yeah.
situation, like just
Yeah.
playing it on the Wii U and whatever, like it just didn't work. Okay, like it wasn't great. I dropped it, and it's not even because I didn't like the game. It was just because I couldn't get through the interface to the game. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
You know, so yeah, there's a little bit of this like, okay, well, what do you even really care about the atmosphere of Metroid Prime? You're not a Metroid
I'm not
Prime
saying
fan.
that.
I know you're not. I know you're not, but I think that might be a perspective that a lot of like Metroid Prime fans are taking with this idea that like you can't put something like other characters into the game. You can't do that. I just don't know that is true.
This is
This
where I
is
want to
the-
Maybe
reiterate
that
where
makes me
every
an
time that
outsider,
they've
but
done
I don't like.
no, and I just want to reiterate with my own experience that the only times they've done that, it sucked, and it did
Sure.
like hurt the atmosphere for me, and I do like those games less.
They
But this
are
isn't the
leaning
same
into
to
it pretty
who
heavily.
did Other M? Who did Other M?
Team Ninja.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, God.
Right?
Yeah.
So who
Okay,
fucking
can I
cares?
say-
Like,
wait,
I want to compliment this. Because if you're not like being an asshole like me, who, by the way, my
not?
favorite Tomb Raider game is the 1996 original because there's like 4 humans in that game. Look, not everyone is going to be as weird and annoying as me. I just want to say,
Another decade.
if we accept that I'll never be pleased, I want to compliment it because I think like what I saw were like a performance. The characterization was annoying, but like from the way like the cutscenes were shot to like the performance itself, and maybe even the writing, believe it or not, is a step up than what we've seen at any previous attempts for them to try to have a more traditional story in a Metroid game. And I'm not just talking about Team Ninja. I'm talking about Federation Force, but I'm talking about Metroid Prime 3 even.
Yeah.
Or even like they've dabbled in this stuff and it hasn't been great. And here
This is their
it
biggest
seems
swing
like
they've taken.
they are trying hard. I think it's misguided. I don't think this is the franchise to do it. I'm frustrated as hell, but I think they aren't like being lazy about it. And I do want to compliment that. I think this game looks really good, and it looks really good in cutscenes. And and I hope those other characters are great. And I think I can come to appreciate the game on those levels, even if, just like I had, I enjoy modern Tomb Raider games. I enjoy the Crystal Dynamics era from like the 360. None of those are 1996 Tomb Raider to me. They've all disappointed me, and I like them all less compared to what I love about that original Tomb Raider, which
But you still like them.
very, very similar to the same thing that I care about most in Metroid games. And that's that, like, this is a dangerous and intense environment, and I'm all alone, and it creates so much tension and atmosphere and honestly fear. Like I was scared the first time I played Metroid back in the day, just like I was, playing the original Tomb Raider.
Look,
You
I
know-
will give
I might
you,
never get that back, but I was hoping I would.
I would fucking concede that point because I do remember playing, like watching my friend play on GameCube when I was like in middle school or whatever, and being legitimately just kind of like creeped out. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, the lab in
it's
Metroid
got some
Prime,
serious vibes.
the
Yeah.
lab in Metroid
Yeah.
Prime is like a genuine like it becomes a horror game.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
if nothing else, I think it makes the prospect of playing and talking about our experiences with Metroid Prime 4 just became way more interesting. Whether it's for the better or worse, like this is not we now know this is not necessarily destined to be a safe what we expected Metroid Prime game. In more ways than just the companion stuff. We've seen
Look,
the
man.
open world aspects, we've seen the motorcycle, we've seen
I'm
like some
excited about the
crazy
motorcycle.
traversal
I'm
shit.
excited about this game.
dude, I'm saying
I'm-
about the motorcycle. I'm excited about
I'm-
the cool psychic powers.
Oh, they're not cool in parentheses, I guess.
We'll the point is we
Listen,
will
The
all
point is,
play it, we will
fantasy
all talk
critics
about it.
getting really tight, and I like.
No,
I need
no,
this
look.
to do good.
I just want to say, we don't have to talk about Fantasy Critic tonight. Every time I showed the Let It Die trailer, I said, do not pick this up for Fantasy Critic. Every time.
I
And
know.
somebody bid on it.
I know.
Somebody bid on it this week.
It could
It's
be
out
bait,
there.
but I think it's Nolan. And I told y'all, I came to the realization when I showed that trailer last week, I was like, oh shit. Nolan not only likes Let It Die a lot, as he should, but he even liked that fucking Deathverse game. He's going to pick this shit up.
It's possible. We'll find out on Saturday.
And Carlos did the dumbest shit in the world. And now I get to counterpick whatever I want with $2.
I mean, yeah.
So if
but also
I
like,
win, blame Carlos and Nolan. Because I can't not counterpick Let It Die, right?
If
That's not
someone
going to be a
gets-
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 situation.
If it ends
right?
up on a list,
What if
Brad?
it is?
That's
if
true.
is,
It
though?
might not actually end up on a list. It could be just bait or whatever.
All right, guys, we can move on. I just want to say In a few weeks, we'll all actually get our hands on Metroid Prime
Dude,
4, and
dude.
if nothing else, it'll be a fun, interesting conversation. So look forward to that in the weeks to come.
Just like I love like fucking Tomb Raider Underworld. There's not going to be a world where I'm not in like many ways really pleased by what I play. But
Sure.
I'm just letting you know I'm always going to be annoying about this topic. And I'm not
Okay.
proud of it. But just
All right.
think about it. It's not like this isn't new, right? I love underwater shit. Why do I love underwater shit? Do you even fucking ever wonder that? Or do you just go, oh, Brad really likes swimming? No.
Brad's into
Yeah,
water
I thought it
sports.
was like some weird childhood memory
No,
thing.
it's not. It's fucking
maybe you're one
atmospheric
of those
and it's
weirdos who
dangerous
remembers
and no
going
one
to
can
the
talk to
womb.
you underwater.
It's Brad's
He remembers
introversion,
being in the
like
womb.
it's Brad's severe introversion being converted into videos. Like, no one can talk to you underwater.
No.
It's the best.
Is the primary reason you like Tomb Raider Underworld that initial water level?
No,
Fuck
I
yeah.
mean, back in the day, I was disappointed that there was no real danger or threat to being underwater like there was in the original Tomb Raider. but
Okay, because
it
I'm just
was
saying,
still
like,
cool.
That's the
when
best
when I
part, when she
first
drowns. Ugh.
Yes.
there was a
Well,
there was a
no.
video that you
The
asked
threat
me
of
to make
drowning.
years ago, and you wanted Tomb Raider Underworld footage, and what you sent me was nothing but you
Was the one-
swimming around in the water in that
Yeah,
initial
I
level.
was very excited when
Yeah,
they
it
first
checks
showed
out.
that.
It checks out.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. In an effort to move on here, we don't have to spend a lot of time talking about this. I just want to ask. So I have the Game Award stuff pulled up here. I know there's actually way more categories than I thought.
It's so boring though. Like the same fucking games got nominated in every category.
Are there categories here that you think are of note?
No.
Were this
No.
Okay, Game of the Year. Do you
No,
at least want to talk about the Game of the
absolutely
Year
not.
nomination?
Here's what's up.
Absolutely
No,
not.
no. Well, because Expedition 33 is going to win. It should win.
It is
It
going
will
to,
win.
It is going to win.
It was nominated in every category. The problem is they nominated it in the
like 12
indie
of them.
category as well, which is so fucking obnoxious because, like actual indie games are also not going to win that. And
Yeah.
fuck off, man. Like we know it's great, but like every category having the same fucking nominees is so boring.
Well,
It's so
so
boring.
what confuses me, and maybe this was there last year or the year before, I don't remember, but like there's a category for best indie game, and then there's a category for best independent game.
No, there's
Wait,
indie
what?
debut. There's
Indie debut.
best
I'm
indie game
sorry.
and best indie debut.
Okay.
Best indie debut has Blueprints, Claire Obscure, Despelote,
Yeah, that's the thing. I
and
thought indie
Dispatch.
debut was like, oh, maybe like a smaller indie game. No, Claire Obscure is in that category
It's indie
because it's
debut,
also their first game.
but it's like
Jesus Christ.
it's like a category because they don't want to give a studio that's only put out one game indie game of the year.
So I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I'll tell you this
It's-
much. Fucking I mean, I don't know. I'm annoyed. Honestly, I beat Hades 2 and I love it. But
I
like
did too.
I don't even like seeing Hades 2 in these fucking categories. Like, dude, Hades got its love. Like,
Yeah.
stop it. Like give some other games a fucking chance. Supergiant, it's not even fair. Like, stop it. It's just more Hades. It's exceptional. It's still just more
It
Hades.
is.
But like
is
it got
crazy here.
nominated for like best art. Like fuck off, dude. The art existed in
It is
Hades
really
1.
good
Okay,
art.
stop it.
Yeah, that is a little fucking. I mean, no one's like by not nominating them for best art does not mean anyone's saying the art is bad. It just means like we've
No.
already been down this road.
We've already seen it.
Like-
Honestly, I feel the same way about Ghost of Yote. Like, look,
Yeah.
the game is beautiful. It's beautiful for the same fucking reasons Tsushima is beautiful. Let it go. It's time for.
I mean,
like,
honestly,
they
I
should
feel the
all
same about-
be.
I feel
Yeah.
the same about so just
And
for,
Death
for
Stranding.
clarification, the art direction category is Claire Obscure, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, and Silk Song. I feel like you could say the
That's
same
so
thing about
boring.
every entry in this thing,
What?
except maybe Expedition 33.
Exactly.
Um,
It's the winner and a bunch of sequels that don't deserve it because they're fucking sequels.
Like they didn't put blueprints in art direction. Come on,
Dude, well, maybe not art direction, but Blueprints is a game that I think should have been up for Game of the Year, honestly.
I
Because,
100%
but you know
agree.
what? Silksong and Hades came out, so fuck them, I guess.
My
Because
God, dude.
they're not they're this is indie enough for us, and apparently that doesn't matter because also Expedition 33 is indie.
I am also
It's
so I thought you were being a little
It's the
hyperbolic when
same.
you talked
No,
about every category having the same things. Like the best score in music looks almost exactly the same as best as game of the year. It's like
Yeah.
and
Yep.
every category I have clicked on has clear obscure. And don't get me wrong, again, they're certainly
deserving.
they're going to sweep and they deserve to sweep, but
I am
it's kind of insane. It's
I'm
kind of
actually
insane.
blown away that
I am scared to click on best
KDC
mobile game.
2 made it into the few categories that they're in. Like I think it's actually really great that it made it for Game of the Year, nominated for Game of the Year, and even there's another category. Oh, like narrative, right? It's on there for
Wait,
narrative.
which game are you talking about?
KDC 2,
Oh,
Kingdom
yeah,
Come
no, dude.
Deliverance 2. Like,
Yeah,
and that's great.
yeah.
But like
I'm
why? How come no one from KDC 2 is in best performance?
That
Did
is
you
crazy.
really need
Yeah.
3 people from Claire Obscure? Charlie Cox,
Wait,
really?
whoa,
Really?
hold on.
That
Where
is Jeff wanting Hollywood in the seats.
where is best performance? There it is. Okay, best performance is
Like I could see
my
Mael and
God.
Verso, Gustav. Come on.
what the okay.
Like
Also,
where's Henry? Well, I mean, actually,
Troy Baker is here for
Just
Indiana
fu-
Jones.
fuzzy,
Indiana Jones was last year, or is that because it came out
Fuzzy
after
December.
Fuzzy December.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, the Game Awards made that official. But like
Yeah.
it's so disrespectful, right? Because a December game's never gonna win because it only kind of counts, right?
Konatsu
Although I could
Kato
see Troy if
for
Troy, well,
Silent Hill
Troy
F.
Baker wins, that I would riot if Troy Baker won.
I mean,
100%. Like
with this lineup, it should be someone from Clear Obscure.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Jennifer English, I think. But like, or no, it could be actually it could be Versa. It could be
Ben Starr.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be Ben Starr. But like,
I mean,
how amazing is it that like between Shadowheart and now Mael, like she like fuck Troy Baker. Like
I
come
will
on.
say this: Troy Baker does do a phenomenal job of impersonating Harrison Ford.
and it's
It
an
is
impersonation,
crazy.
though. Yeah, I know,
but it does.
know.
I mean, I think it is worthy of praise because I was genuinely jaw on the floor,
December
like,
don't
"Oh
count.
my God!"
Fuzzy December's crazy though. The golden joysticks like are already over. Like they did their award show halfway through November, which is one embarrassing. Like I think there's a lot of things that make our this industry embarrassing, and I think doing award shows in November is just another one of them.
It also might be embarrassing
Because like
that they
any
didn't
other
include
respectable industry would be like, well, obviously the year's not over. We're gonna do it like in February or whatever, right?
They also didn't put Lumines in best VR, which
because
I think
it's
is
not popular enough. It's a popularity contest. If anything,
is.
this shows you that like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is more popular than we think, and it is. That game was
I really hope.
huge.
I really hope. I do. Don't put your pitchfork down, Chris Davis, because I do think Clair Obscur should wipe the floor with a lot of these categories. But I'm really hoping that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 can at least pull at least one of them, and I think Best RPG is maybe the best category. For
what else is up for RPG? Best RPG though.
Avowed, Clair Obscur, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and The Outer Worlds 2.
So you're right. They do sometimes use those categories as like pity awards to like, instead of a full sweep. So I could
Kingdom
see
Come
that.
Deliverance 2 deserves to pick some shit up.
I mean, I agree.
Even if it's just one.
I
understand that, but the Lumen system from Clair Obscur and everything you could do there was really fucking cool.
But there's actual role playing
and also don't forget, there's actual role playing in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and also don't forget, we've talked about this many times, how unbalanced Clair Obscur is ultimately, where you can like over level really easily and then just like beat the final boss in like one hit, and how it just like throws the balance off.
I mean, but that's the coolness of the system as well.
Dude, but like no,
I basically one hitted the final boss.
I've been a little frustrated with Nick this year about him ever since he's played KDC 2. That's been his game of the year with the bullet, and it will be that.
It will be.
But here's
100%.
the thing. Here's the thing. I am now. I always do this circling back late year, finishing up. I've been playing a shit ton of KDC 2, and he's right. Like now,
Fuck
I don't know if
yes!
it's going to be my game of the year. I think honestly, I think Blueprints still might be my favorite game of the year. But
That's up
like,
there for me too.
it was always. I think I had like Clair Obscur like as number 2 maybe, or even 1. And this was before I played Silk Song. I mean, like there's a lot of contenders for me. But what I'm saying is, I hope that KDC 2 wins some shit over Clair Obscur, and I think it deserves it. I think Clair Obscur is not the best RPG.
Also, it feels weird saying this, but like, given what we've already talked about, I hope there's a pity category in here somewhere for Silk Song because with the way this looks, it almost feels like Silk Song is not going to win anything, which would be
No, I mean,
crazy.
but like, remember, people hate Silk Song now because it's too hard.
Because people are wrong.
Like I don't. To me, it's not even fair because
Actually,
it's a sequel and it's Hollow Knight, right? It's the same way I feel about Hades, but like in a lot of these categories, like Silk Song absolutely clowns the other fucking nominees.
Silk Song
truly.
Silk Song might get the Best Action Adventure Game award.
Yeah, because it
Because
deserves it. Like
well, it's up
Silk
against
Song,
Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, Indiana Jones.
You
and Split Fiction.
conveniently picked the one category that
better
Clair
than
Obscur
those.
is not nominated in.
You just said that you wanted a pity category for Silk Song, motherfucker.
I
What
want
about
Silk
Death
Song to
Stranding
win.
2?
I want Silk Song to
that's your
win
hill.
against
Chris Davis, Crispy.
Clair Obscur.
What about Death Stranding 2?
But
Death
it's a
Stranding
sequel.
2
It's a sequel.
No, you guys didn't play it. It's a beautiful, awesome. Shut up! There's trains this time.
For sequel, it's a sequel.
I fully
Trains
intend
and
to
an
go.
electric guitar. Shut
I
up.
fully intend to.
You
I
surf
fully
on a
intend.
coffin, guys. God damn it! No, you don't understand. Like the mountain section of this game is on another level than the first game. Like it. Like
I believe you.
You know what? And here's the deal. This is why we enjoy doing our own award ceremony at the end of every year because we're the real deal. We'll talk
This is
about
going
the
to be
games. That,
extremely hard for me to pick my favorite game of the year this year. Extremely hard.
It's going to be really hard for me to pick my number 9 and my number 10.
Oh, no one cares about your number 9.
I know what my number 10
All right.
is.
Everyone cares
real
about
quick.
Nick's number 11 is what it is.
Can I also say, wait, there's an elephant in the room here, and it's Dispatch. And it's the fact that, like, of the people, like, when they were doing the nominations or whatever, like, there was, like, 1, maybe 2 episodes of Dispatch out, and it hadn't even really built up steam.
Did they not get?
But, like,
nominated?
but the thing
They did.
is, they're counting it for this year, but like by nomination time, it got nominated in almost no categories because the love wasn't there yet. And I feel bad because now the love is there, and it's not, at least for these stupid fucking awards, not going to get the credit it deserves. But I think at the end of the year, I think it will. We do need to move on. Holy shit.
I do want to just throw this out there. I think it's really awesome that Silent Hill F has been nominated for a few categories, even though it probably won't win.
Even best performance. I love that they nominated. Is that the Japanese voice actress? And not
so,
or
yes.
the English voice actress? I don't actually know.
That's actually a good question. Maybe somebody in chat knows. I don't know off the top of my head.
But I love that they nominated. Like, I am really rooting for Silent Hill F in any category it's in, which is only a couple. But I love that it was in narrative and performance, because usually performance picks are just like
it's the Japanese
Hollywood. Oh, see, that's really cool.
That's cool.
That's really
a good
cool.
move. That's a smart move. Even though I've been playing the entire game in English, but
when is the Game Awards this year?
I'm a lazy bitch.
What's the date?
December 11th.
December 11th. Okay, so we've got.
So we will, of course.
We'll have one show before that happens, so we can do like a prediction.
What if I play
if
Metroid Prime 4 in Japanese?
Yeah,
maybe. Ooh, there we go.
It might just be even more annoying in Japanese.
No, I'm turning the audio off.
All right, guys. Before we why don't we before we take our break? How are we doing on time? Oh well,
let's just go. Let's just go.
Let's do Dispatch. Let's talk about Dispatch. We're getting into it. We talked a little bit about last week. At the time, Chris Davis and Brad had played it. Now Crispy and Chris Davis have both finished it. I have only played one episode, but at least I feel like I can be part of the conversation now.
I'm still only
Um,
one episode Andy over here, so.
Are you serious? You've only played
me and
one
Brad are
episode?
Dude, I've been
yeah.
playing other shit. I'm gonna get to it. I asked
It's not
Malia if
even
she wanted
that
to.
long. Okay.
Well, I've been
Look,
playing other shit.
I finished Hades 2 and decided to play the first episode of Dispatch last night, even though my brain was pulling me towards other things because I am overwhelmed right now. But I did want to be part of this conversation, and I do have every intention of actually playing through the rest of Dispatch now because this game's pretty good. This game's pretty fucking good.
It's
I
pretty
don't know where
good
to,
for just the first few episodes, and then it ramps up, man. It just keeps getting better.
okay, so
The
Crispy,
hacking
I feel like I
sucks.
should kind of like real quick kind of turn it over to you because I do know you had not touched it last week. We had we had a conversation about it kind of from an
Yeah, I mean, I
outsider's
was aware
perspective,
of
and
it.
now
I
you've like
had
blown
heard a
through it.
lot of the buzz, but I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know the details of the story really, or what the gameplay was like, and I hadn't touched it, and I wasn't making time for it. We talked about it. We watched some footage. I decided I was in a good place for it because, I mean, look, after work yesterday, I went and bought like fucking $30 in comic books. Like,
Hell
I'm in
yeah.
a fucking
So that's
superhero
like
mood,
3 issues.
No, that was like 6. Yeah, I don't know. It was okay.
Crispy's
But
in
it
the
was a
mood.
nice haul. It was a pretty nice haul. I got that new Batman Deadpool.
What the
uh,
fuck? That's a
yeah,
thing.
it's a Marvel DC crossover.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a bunch of different character crossovers. The main story is just Batman and Deadpool, and I got the variant cover where it's Batman holding Deadpool's dead body like Superman holding Supergirl, except Batman's laughing instead of going no, like.
Oh no.
Nice.
Yeah, that's great. Anyway,
Okay.
I loved it. I loved it. I loved this match. It was so good. It is very well written. And not just like from a plotting perspective, but from like a character and performance perspective, like the relationships, the psychology behind the characters, the themes that the story is kind of trying to
You mean the boys? It's like the boys.
it's not like
It's not the boys.
Look, I don't even think The Boys is bad. I just don't really care for it. I just don't. It's just not my thing. I read the comic, and
I
I'm
think it's
good.
the easy comparison to make because the boys is like the new hotness right now, and there's
Yeah,
like some
I
very
mean, but The
superficial
Boys is like-
I don't
comparisons
even
to
think
be
it's
made
hot
here.
anymore.
The Boys is well,
it
it
is.
was maybe like a couple years.
I mean, it's
ago.
ending
But The
now.
Boys is also The Boys is doing that thing where like a lot of mainstream exposure to superheroes is through like kind of a deconstructionist lens because superheroes are so inherently silly and so inherently just like vibes based that like people kind of just still naturally look down on it. It's like interacting with professional wrestling, you can do it, but like if you're not part of that circle, you're probably going to come at it from this like anthropological viewpoint of like, this is weird, huh? Like, this is kind of a weird thing. Like, wouldn't Superman be really weird if he was real? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he probably would. It's not that interesting though. Like, we've seen it, and Watchmen exists. So like, if you're really trying to like deconstruct the idea of like masked crime fighters, like somebody did.
I feel like
already
after one
like,
episode of Dispatch, and maybe I'm
Dispatch
totally
is
off
not
base
that.
here.
Dispatch is not that.
Well, no,
Dispatch
I'm just
is
saying.
like
I'm just saying
trying
if,
to
if
be.
you
Dispatch is trying to like make a sincere go at like telling a story about superheroes, but it is setting that story specifically in like Los Angeles, right? So it's
Yeah.
trying to integrate like the culture and the vibe of Los Angeles into these superheroes. I mean, it's almost akin to like Marvel setting all their heroes in New York, right? Like New York kind of becomes part of the texture and the tone of that story, and I would say there's a lot of that in Dispatch,
yeah. I mean, I was just saying that like if you were for people who have never played it and they were looking for like an easy like pop culture comparison, I feel like after one episode, I feel like this has more in common with something like Watchmen than it does with The Boys because everyone
Ye-
points to The Boys.
Why? Well, uh,
But I've only played one episode, so that
no,
might
no, no,
totally go out
because
the window.
I think you're only saying that because that you're putting like Watchmen and The Boys in like a good bad binary, and I don't think that works.
I don't even think that's the case because I think I like them both for different reasons. And
I do too. I you know what I think? You know what I really think? I think this is most to me. This is most like the Venture Brothers. This is the kind of humor that like the Venture Brothers does, and it's also like they treat the subject matter in this like way of like, yes, it's ridiculous, but like we're coming at it from a really sincere, vulnerable place where like what is ridiculous about it is that these are still real people who have like the same real foibles and the same real sort of flaws and challenges that normal characters do, and it's about kind of dealing with those two things in a serious but really fun and often fucked up way.
right.
Yeah, like the Venture Brothers, nobody has done it like that. Nobody's done it like that. But this has that vibe.
World
The-
Teller in chat throws out Ben Stiller's classic Mystery Men.
I do like that movie, but it's pretty. That movie's not really trying to say anything. You know, it
Can
doesn't
I-
really.
Can I ask you I mean, there's the elephant in the room here. Do you love this game because you just really love the YouTubers Jacksepticeye and Moist Critical?
You know, dude, I didn't even really realize that's what was going on until the end. Like, I kept hearing Sonar, and I was going, "Why does he? What is? I know this voice. What is this?" And same thing with Punch Up too. Like Punch Up, I
Top
was
of the
like,
morning to you?
I was like, "Who did they?" Yeah, and then when I realized, I just heard like "Happy Wheels," and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like,
I didn't
yeah,
hear it
I
at
did
all. I
not
didn't
realize
realize.
that that's what was going on. Um, even like if you guys hadn't told me that was what's this, Aaron Paul playing
Yeah.
Dude,
It
we
did
talked
not sound
about it
like
last
Aaron
week.
Paul.
We
It
talked about
doesn't.
that last week, and I got to that entire
And
first episode, and I was like, "This voice acting is so good," and then I was like, "Oh
it
shit, that's Aaron
doesn't.
Paul." I've been hearing him the entire episode, and I didn't realize.
Listen, it does not really sound like him. And even acknowledging that I think Aaron Paul's a good actor who's done a lot of really good work that I've seen and been like, he's a good actor. This is up there. Like
Yeah.
he's like doing some
Can I
stuff here that's
pose this
real.
conspiracy theory to you guys? Maybe
Sure.
the way you get good performances out of real Hollywood is to make them think it's going to be an actual show and then like secretly turn it into a video game.
Dude,
Well, this was going to be a
that
show.
is
Possible.
what
I
where
know.
this conversation's going, because that's what I want to talk about, because like this game really kind of finally proved to me that like I just don't really respect point and click action games as like
Like Telltale games?
as a video game. Yeah, I don't think that's like a good video game. It's not anything I've ever liked because of the gameplay. It's only something I've ever liked because of the story, which, you know, maybe
Yeah,
you're saying
I
like
completely
no
agree.
shit because all it is story, but yeah, also no shit, all it is story. And this story even in particular. Now, maybe not all point and click action venture games are like this, but I feel like this story, let me tell you something. I finished my playthrough. I made all the decisions that I made. I finished the playthrough and I was like, that was great. But I don't feel like I needed to be a part of most of those decisions, because the other decision was
Those were
so
the-
just like, yeah, it was so obvious that that's what should happen here. Like, if the story is about redemption, then this is what needs to happen. Right? This is what this character has to do. This is like what is going to, you know, like the end, the last episode, you have this big showdown with the
Mhm.
villain that you encounter in the beginning of the big
Yeah.
shroud, right? You have this
Yeah.
interaction with him that really is just gonna kind of define, you know,
what the story means
what
to
he
you
chooses
or
to
what-
do in that interaction, and how his relationship with Invisigirl ends up, like what he kind of ends up meaning to her. Both mean a lot to like the integrity of the themes of the story, and I can't imagine getting a satisfying story where like they turn out the other way.
Did you happen
know
to
what I
look
mean?
up what happens if you make the opposite choices?
Now, I did kind of poke around a little bit, and I did see that things can go pretty differently. And like even some things that I didn't think could be different could be different. And there were things that like I had gotten outcomes that like I'm not even really sure how I got them. Um because of like a certain combination of choices I've made, but also it's like, and then there's also outcomes that I think kind of don't matter. I don't know how to talk about this. Like, okay, so like let me without, I'm not gonna like name names, but like I want to talk about like kind of how characters get shuffled around a little bit. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
like there is a point because this whole thing is like you're doing corporate dispatching for corporate superheroes, right? So they're all
Mm-hmm.
technically like employees of this company that you work for and you're their supervisor. And there comes a point where they're like, all right, you got to cut someone. We need the bottom performer out and you got to cut someone. And there's two characters that you get to pick between. And honestly, I didn't even know that was such a hard coded like choice. I really thought there was maybe a secret third option where I could just be like, I'm not cutting anybody, fuck you, you know? They kind of like it like part of the story and the theme kind of feels like they're building him up to like defend these people, you know? To be like a good boss is to be like, you know, on the line. But no, it really is like you got to pick one. And then when you cut one of those heroes, they're out, like you don't use them for the rest of the game. They're out, and someone else on the team is pissed at you because of it.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of like win them back. And
That's
like
classic
the
Walking
two,
Dead,
sure,
Telltale kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
like
Telltale.
that.
sure. But there's a like the story wraps it up in a way where even that like wayward character is still kind of like part of what's going on and gets like a satisfying resolution that doesn't feel like this is a story about redemption that had to cut one of the characters, you know, to give all the other characters redemption, you know?
Yeah.
There's a satisfying conclusion, but if you don't make the right choices or like you fuck up a certain gameplay element, then no, it's not. And then you're just kind of like, okay, well, you can't save everyone, I guess. And like that, like, you can't save everyone, I guess, is not really a position I want a superhero story to take, you know? Because then it's like, well, what are we doing here, you know? Spy stories are like you can't save everyone. Like
I kinda
war
get what you're
stories are
saying.
you can't save everyone. This is like superheroes. The whole
Yeah,
point of
superheroes are
superheroes is you can save everyone. Like
it's how you save everybody that ends up making them interesting. You
It
know what I
made
mean?
sense with like The Walking Dead, but by the time they got from like to like Tales from the Borderlands, it's like, well, what are
yeah,
we doing here? It's
yeah, and
it
like
doesn't really even fit the tone.
this kind of story should have a certain theming and a certain tone that like maybe I don't I don't know. Like when I finished playing this, I was like, that was incredible. I just wish this was like an 8-part animated series.
But
Miniseries.
remember, like even
And
when it was a Netflix show, it still was going to be like a
I know it still
Bandersnatch.
had this like interactive element. Bandersnatch was built around this idea of like choice versus destiny versus like metaphysics. Like the Bandersnatch story supported that, right?
Oh,
This is just a story.
yeah.
And like the dispatch element, like what we're seeing on screen here, like the part where
It's
you're
kinda
actually just like
whatever.
bossing everybody around, was really fun. I really liked it. And I
Okay,
kind of
Yeah,
wish
it's
it
not
was
very
more
deep,
robust.
right?
It's
Yeah.
not that deep. I wish it was a little more robust, but like by the time you get to the last episode, they're like the story has made it where like that section's pretty hard and performing poorly in that section has irreversible story consequences. You know what I mean?
Okay, can I? Because so I finished the first episode last night, and I was immediately kind of enthralled and in love with it.
Yeah.
But the big takeaway from it was like, man, as soon as it started having me do like the dispatch stuff, I was like, I just want to get back to like the interactive storytelling.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
that was so good,
I
and I'm
mean,
just like wondering how much of the game is the actual dispatch
They
stuff.
throw in
I
different ways to do the dispatch sequences. Each one is a little bit different from one to the other. And the character dialogue that doesn't really feel that good in the first dispatch sequence, it gets better as the game goes on. Because you build a
Okay,
relationship with
maybe I
these
mean
characters.
it still has time
I
to
think
win.
I
It
think
still
when
has time to
you're
win me over.
I
Yeah.
think when you're like here's the thing. Like these dispatch sequences are the only part of this game that really feels like it succeeds in giving me a space to role play Robert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
rest of it making me make the choice of whether or not Robert should kiss Invisigal or kiss Blonde Bombshell or whatever, or kiss fucking
Blonde
Phenomena
Blazer,
Man.
but yeah.
Blonde Blazer, I'm sorry. Or kiss Phenomena Man or whatever. Like that doesn't feel like I'm role playing. It feels like they want it to be that like it feels like the goal of this kind of game is to put you in a character's shoes and make you role play. But I don't feel like I'm role playing because I'm not inhabiting a character. Like Robert is this guy that I am learning about and understanding, and I'm trying to
You're
make
taking a
choices that
test
I
to see
think
how much you understand the character.
I'm
Like,
trying to take a test. Yeah, I'm trying to guide Robert through like what I think the theme of the story is, right? But that doesn't really feel like role play in the way that like an RPG does, like in the way that Kingdom Come Deliverance does, you know?
Slade
Like,
says illusion of choice, which is not an illusion because your
yeah,
choices do have consequences, but like
it does have
like
consequences,
there
and I
are
do think you can end up with a story that's like maybe not as good as, you know,
Oh,
another
see, I don't want to hear
version.
that. I don't want to hear that.
I think you can end up with a story that's a little more like, "Yeah, we tried, but you know, whatever." You know, sometimes you fuck up, I guess.
I
Which,
don't.
okay, I don't know if that's what I want out of a superhero story. Like, you
I
know,
don't want to play the game. You know, every single
I
Telltale game
know,
I've ever
I know.
played, I've played with Malia, and as
When you
soon as
look
they
this
give you
up,
control over the character, I give her the controller. And I'm like,
when
I don't
you
want to do
look
this.
this up on YouTube, the playthroughs are all like dispatch entire series playthrough best choices, and it's like,
Huh.
okay, what do you
Yeah.
mean by that? First of all, second of
Yeah,
all,
there's-
I do believe there's best choices. Third of all, I've been watching the discourse about like, oh, who did you cut versus like who did you kiss on Twitter, and like I can't believe like. I really wish you guys had played the last episode. There is a classic
We'll get there.
superhero moment
Yeah.
at the end of the series where you have to make a choice that really kind of defines the whole tone of the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are just like, no, he touched my dog. I'm John Wick. I like John Wick. Fuck off. Like, seriously, fuck off. You're stupid. Like, you're just dumb. I'm sorry. I like.
that is fucking. I'm also low key
Straight
terrified
up.
that I'm gonna make a choice that Crispy's gonna judge me forever for.
Like
That's
the
just this
number of people
podcast,
that were
right?
just like, he touched beef. Like, he touched beef. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. He touched beef. Like, oh yeah, okay, because you, first of all, you respect a dog more than you do any human you've ever met in your life. Like, I get it. Like, you're just a miserable misanthrope. Like,
I will agree with you that it felt a little weird how that became like that penultimate like decision thing that you do.
okay.
But also like
Okay,
at
I
looking
feel like we're
at-
getting really close to.
No, it
I
doesn't.
bet-
It doesn't. The choice before that, where he's like,
Yeah.
God damn it! Why won't you guys fucking play games? Like,
Bitch, you binge this shit. People have been talking about Dispatch in our
the
Discord
fucking-
for weeks and
the
weeks,
fucking
and you
choice
binge it
at
in
the
one
end.
night.
Like they set it up in a way where it's like, okay, you can either obey the villain or you can try to trick the villain, or he's already told you that neither of those are going to work
Okay.
out for you. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
We're getting way too close.
I'm sorry.
To spoil.
I'm sorry.
I am.
But like that is a really cool choice that goes different ways and turns out differently and is interesting in each section, right? But then there's another choice after that where like they're giving you Spider-Man. They're giving you Batman. They're giving you fucking Captain America. They're giving you Superman. And you have to say either like, yeah, that's cool, or like, no, my favorite movie is John Wick. Like,
I have no idea what Crispy's talking about, but I am totally
you
on
will.
the side.
You will. Once you watch it.
Well, the good news is
Okay.
I don't like John Wick, so.
Okay, listen.
No,
listen,
can I say I respect?
Can we
Crispy
move on
as a
before
human?
y'all talk me out of playing this?
No,
'Cause at this
I just
point, I'm-
respect Crispy as a human being who did not have to, give birth to another human to decide that humans are worth more than a random person's dog. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but
What,
it's
you
true.
hate to say what? What? I didn't follow.
You lost
Are
me.
you talking shit to me? I'm like, I was.
No, what I'm
I
saying
saw
is
red
like,
for a second there.
it's the whole thing of like, yeah, I would rather save this human stranger versus my own dog
Yeah.
because a human life is worth more. I'm sorry. but
Nick,
see, the thing is, I've had children.
Y'all are
I
you're losing me.
respect Crispy as someone who has not had children to also believe like a normal human being.
If the whole point of the story is that Robert doesn't feel like a hero, but he comes from a legacy of heroes, and he is being thrust into
Oh my
this
God.
group of losers, that's the first episode, Nick! He's been thrust into this group of losers. Should the story end with him being a hero?
Okay,
Nick,
guys,
You are
okay.
these are major themes. I
We
get why.
are teetering on the edge of spoiler. Like at this point, I feel like I'm not going in blind anymore.
Alright.
Yeah, You want to
You're
have
not.
the post. You want to have the spoiler
You played the
cast.
first episode, Nick.
No,
I know, but now I feel like I know what happens in episode 8.
No.
No, you don't.
Someone's
No,
gonna
You
hurt.
don't.
Someone's gonna hurt
Crispy
his
is
dog,
frustrated
and I'm
because
gonna have to choose whether to go John Wick on his ass or not.
You want to
and-
have the concluding conversation about Dispatch. I get it. You're frustrated, but we can't. We can't right now.
Look, I thought I was
Yeah.
doing y'all a favor by playing the first episode last night, but apparently that was not enough. But I feel like I would have been in trouble if I hadn't even touched it.
Anyway, you did
know what I
yourself
mean?
a
Like-
favor, bro.
No, what I'm saying is, I made the decision to prioritize playing the first episode of Dispatch last night when I feel like there was no right answer, because unless I finished the game,
I mean, it's
Crispy's
like,
mad at me.
do you
No,
think?
you're normal.
No, I'm
Nick,
not
you're
mad at
fine.
you. I'm mad at like we're not okay. I'm sorry.
He can't have the conversation he wants to have. because we have
we're not
played it.
having an interesting
Yes.
conversation. We're having a oh my god, don't tell me
Well,
things. Blah, blah, blah. Like
Don't say that.
because
Well-
does Superman fight Lex Luthor in the third act of Superman? I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. Come on.
Well, no,
like,
it's just that I know that he has a dog, and now I know that something's going to happen to the dog, and that's going to be critical in the final decisions.
dude,
of the
fuck the
series.
dog. Like, just play the game. So much crazier shit happens. Like,
But John
Okay,
Wick, I
okay.
love John Wick.
Nick,
like
I beat this game 2.5 hours ago, and
Don't.
I understand Crispy's frustration. I just saying that just give it another.
The funny thing is,
episode,
he's
maybe
frustrated.
He's
No,
not
I'm
trying to
right.
convince.
I know.
Everybody-
No, stop trying to calm down, Nick. We're fine.
Everybody
We're not
just-
talking about this.
No.
We're just having a new conversation.
Everybody shut the
Let's
fuck
just
up for a
move
second.
forward.
Everybody shut the fuck up for a second. I played this first episode last night, and I was smitten. I'm in love. I'm ready to keep
Dude,
going. I have
What
every
was the
intention
last
of
thing
finishing
you
this.
saw? What was the last thing you saw? What was the
I
last
literally-
scene?
The first episodes. Were
I
after
don't
he-
remember where the first episode ends.
She leaves him on the billboard, and then he goes home, and
After
He's
she tries
contem-
to recruit him, right?
yeah,
Yes.
and he goes home, and he's going to bed, and he's contemplating the job.
Right.
That's the last thing that happens.
Because the whole thing is like, hey, we'll help you fix your suit. We'll get you back into being Mecha Man
Yeah.
if you come work for us, right?
Yes.
Why does he want to be Mecha Man again?
I know. Look, I get that. I know what you're saying. I believe what you're saying. I understand. I'm just saying you're frustrated despite the fact that you played it and loved
I'm
it.
frustrated that this is a video game. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Dude, let's
Okay.
harass Nick so much that he never plays it like Tales from the
Yeah.
Borderlands. Remember,
Yeah.
he only played that one episode, and then out of
You never
spite,
even got to Ashley Johnson's part in Tales of the Borderlands, did you?
No.
out of spite,
Oh, the part that would have cemented it in your heart forever.
Y'all ruined it.
Forever.
Y'all fucking ruined it.
Ashley
no,
Johnson's
you played
best
yourself.
role.
It's like a Baldur's Gate 3
Ashley
situation.
Johnson's best
where
role.
You
and
didn't
you
have the
just,
heart
like,
or the care to
decided-
do it yourself, so you blamed
Yes,
it on
I
others.
am counting Ellie from Last of Us. Better than Ellie.
Okay, both of y'all are saying things that I think are outrageous, and I just want to move
Yeah,
on.
because you
but
didn't fucking
factual.
play it,
but
Nick.
factual. You didn't play Tales from the Borderlands because you didn't like it as much as we did.
I also don't. Oh, God, do we have to?
Yeah.
No, we don't. Please, I want to talk about Absolum.
Well, we can do that after the fucking break, guys.
I
We're
thought
gonna
we
take a
I
break.
thought we were a one segment show.
No, dude, we're not.
Okay, well then
Shut the
fake
fuck up.
break. Fake break, right?
We're taking a bathroom break. God damn it! When we come
We're
back,
taking a Nick's gonna go scream in his pillow for 5 seconds break.
I don't
I
even
don't
know
want
how
a
this.
break where
I don't know
everyone
how
takes
this. I don't know how this conversation about Dispatch went from like something really exciting and like making me happy and excited to play a game to me wanting
Because
to
I
scream into
rage
pillow.
like a fire inside, Nick,
Yes,
and I didn't
yes.
want to tell you that this was gonna be like kind of a difficult conversation, but this game's brilliant. It's my number 10 game of the year. Like, but I wish
Your
it wasn't a
number
video
one.
game.
Your number one game of the
It's
year.
not my number one game because it can't be because it's not a fucking video game.
What's a bad
Guys-
video game?
Guys, we'll be back after this short break. We're back.
we?
Brad has ceremoniously killed a game that we had on the agenda for the night.
I didn't kill it.
Not
We're talking about it next week.
Not Absolum though. That is definitely still on the agenda. We're going to talk about Absolum and then wrap up with the 4-player
Yeah.
minute.
Honestly, I can't like stomach the embarrassment of y'all ignoring the Trails in the Sky series anymore. Honestly, we should bring on a better podcaster to talk to me about that, to talk with me about that game.
I had a dyslexic moment when I saw you upload that footage. Instead of Trails in the Sky, I read Tales of the Sun. I was like, that fucking weird ass PS1 game? Okay.
I was originally
not.
going to abbreviate it as I want to do, but then I realized Chris Davis is a child and he would never let it go.
Fuck off.
Wait.
Trails
Okay.
in the Sky. Tits.
All right. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think out of all four of us, Chris Davis would be the one who's most mature about it.
About tits?
Yeah,
No.
dude. In fact, if you were actually talking about Trails in the Sky tonight, I would have called this episode the Tits Show.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I guess I can
Pretty
be
certain we've done that
100%
by now.
because we're leading with Trails in the Sky next week.
Next week, we'll talk about tits. All right.
Wait, no.
This
Next
week,
week's
though-
Thanksgiving. 2 weeks from
Oh,
now.
shit. We didn't talk about that, but I think it's safe to assume that we'll either be recording on a different night next week or we won't be
Just
recording
something else.
anything next week.
I'll do
We got
something.
The
more
next
trailers to watch.
podcast,
No
the next
trailer talk.
podcast, we'll talk about Trails in the Sky. In fact, the next time we convene, it's gonna be it might be December. I don't fucking know. Whatever. guys.
Absolum.
Absolum. Show us
This
that
is-
killed footage.
So, did y'all know? Are y'all familiar with Streets of Rage 4? It's one of the most
sure.
well-respected modern beat 'em
Sure.
ups by
Yeah,
Dot
yeah,
Emu
yeah.
and Guard Crush Studios. They worked on Streets of Rage 4 with others, like also the studio that worked on Shinobi and the studio that worked on like Dot Emu is all over this year. It's crazy, actually. Like also Ninja Gaiden Ragebound and
Maybe
and,
they should have spread these out a little bit.
well, I mean, they're all. Yeah, maybe honestly, it's just a tough year for indies, with Silk Song and Hades and everything. So, Guard Crush, they also did a DLC for Streets of Rage 4 that was a roguelike mode for Streets of Rage 4. Well, they kind of took that idea and ran with it and decided to make a dedicated roguelike beat 'em up in Absolum. And this, I'll say this: the game is gorgeous. It plays incredibly well, and if you've put hands on Streets of Rage 4, you know that. They know what they're doing. And they decided to kind of set their target on like Hades, right? Like we're going to make a high production value
In a Hades year.
in a Hades year, a high production value, like beautiful roguelike that, is not just fully voice acted, but has that continuing storylines as you go from run to run and you're stumbling into characters and continuing like side quests and stuff. All that's here. And the performances are great. And it's just a really top, like the presentation is top notch. And maybe you can't see, I mean, you can see it in the footage, but like this game and, like on your computer or TV or whatever, looks way more gorgeous than you could even imagine. Beautiful game. And it feels so good to play in a way that like some modern beat 'em ups don't. Or like where some, so I think one of the things that holds the beat 'em up genre back is just how like they lean so hard on nostalgia and they're not really that deep. Marvel, the fucking Marvel one's about to come out soon, and I'm sure it's gonna like score. Like, I probably will crash out and be very loud about it if Absolum scores worse than that Marvel beat 'em up game that's coming out. The sad reality is it might actually do that. even though that game is really shallow and just playing on nostalgia because we all love fucking the X-Men beat 'em up game or whatever from the 90s, whatever, yada yada yada. But the reality is this game is so much more like elegant and like deep and replayable, and it aimed for Hades, and I feel like it fucking got there. Like Hades 2 I finished and I love. I think I'm enjoying Absolum more than my time with Hades 2 this year. And
That's
because
wild.
I think the combat is more fun and more engaging and feels better than it does. And I will say you do have to like have maybe some not maybe not affection or like but like some not like it still does the beat 'em up thing where you're tapping double tapping forward to like kind of run, right? Or but you don't have to. You can hold the dodge button to run, and it has like the very sluggish like up and down movement
Hmm.
that is like sort of like classic to like or part of like classic beat 'em ups. But the actual combo systems are incredibly deep, and they include like some elements. So that the thing about roguelikes, like think about Hades, right? Where like every hit you take is significant because getting health back is not something that is easily done. You don't like if you take a bunch of hits in a fight, like your run is in trouble, right?
Right.
You're like it could be a long time before you get to that next fountain, and that next fountain ain't necessarily gonna bring you back up to full health, right? So you need to be very careful with the damage you take, and it's like that in Absolum as well. But the thing about beat 'em ups is they come from arcades and they're not exactly fair, right? Like it was very easy back in the day to just take a lot of cheap hits because they were trying to take your quarters, right? The genres I feel like has always been like that. That fucking beat 'em up in UFO 50 is incredibly frustrating with shit like that. But Absalom introduces some mechanics that are like to me seem really great, like from the perspective of a beat 'em up, because you dash into attacks to like interrupt them, and enemies also have like more powerful like red attacks, right, as you see like in all kinds of action games and souls like these days. But you can also counter those by doing like your like heavy attack, right? But you have to time it right, and depending on the character you're playing, like that timing might be tricky. But basically, this game gives you like a way to like 100% mitigate damage if you're really on top of it, or you could just get out of the way. And like having that sort of control and mastery over like the types of bosses you encounter, which can be like really crazy, and like just like like the beat 'em up thing of being swarmed by enemies on the screen, but still being able to like play it perfectly feels really good. Because when you take a hit, you do take a lot of damage, and it really is going to hurt your run. But like Hades, like you get really good at like the patterns and the boss patterns and stuff. When you're first playing Hades, right? You're just trying to face tank the boss and dying and wondering why you're not winning. You got to eventually start learning the patterns and getting the fuck out of the way, or you're not going to succeed unless you have some broken ass build. And let me tell you, like Hades, it took me a while. This had a very similar hump to Hades because it is a roguelite. And when you start the game, you're really not powerful enough to be successful. But you eventually get enough of those upgrades to where, okay, now I can more reasonably start playing the game. I don't love that element of Hades, and I don't love it here. But I will say, once you do get over that hump, and you're like, of like building up enough strength and your death defiances, if you will, then the game becomes way more fun, and it becomes all about like, okay, I'm really enjoying like the core combat of this game, but like, what's the broken shit? Give me the broken shit. It took me a while before I started to have runs that felt like the really broken runs from Hades, and for a while, the game felt really like imbalanced to me, and I'm like, there's something I'm not understanding here because I stumbled into this one build where you throw like daggers, you spawn daggers, and you throw daggers, and it was so much more powerful than anything I had done up into the game up until the game at that point, which I played a lot, that I was convinced that like there's like something fundamentally wrong with this game. Like they're having a serious balancing issue. And I literally I was in Discord kind of ranting about it. And then very next run, I stumbled onto a completely different build that was even more powerful, and I beat the game for the first time. So I was like, okay, there's some sauce here. There's some like crazy broken shit. And then I played a lot more, and every run, even the run I did, and I'm really rusty in footage because I've actually not played this game in a few weeks now because I did beat it. I did get the true ending. I wasn't done with it. But even in this run, I stumbled into some shit I've never seen before. I'm like, holy shit, this game, just like Hades, even more than Hades, because Hades does still start to feel a little samey, especially because most all your interactions come from like the very predictable, like the boon conversations or the conversations at your base, or like, you know, the shopkeeper, essentially, like the merchant
Yeah.
conversations. They
You
happen
get
in
into a
very
rhythm.
predictable places, but here you get constantly surprised, like where like, oh, I was not expecting this character to show up here or this boss to show up here, or all of a sudden I'm now fighting this boss with that boss at the same time. I was not expecting that. And like the game keeps surprising you. And it's, I mean, I don't know what to say. I understand why this game has not, like, people are not talking about this game. It literally came out like a week after Hades 2 and people were still playing Silksong. Horrible timing for like
Timing, not ideal.
normal indie games this year, especially the ones that came out in the back half of the year. But like this deserves all the attention, and you know the game, like review wise, scored incredibly well, but it doesn't feel like it's being talked about, and it's really sad because now we're kind of in game of the year time, and people are like, "Oh, I need to finish Silksong finally," and it's like, "Fuck, man." It's unfortunate. You know, they didn't know Hades 2 was going to drop. They didn't know his Silksong was going to drop, and I feel really bad. But like, this is absolutely one of the best games that I played this year, and I think this game does have online co-op, and you can. I played this game entirely like by myself, like Hades, right? But this is like a Hades that you can play with one other person. It
It's a
has
beat 'em up.
two player co-op, and I've heard like really great things about like even people playing with random unknown people online, just like that camaraderie that naturally builds when you're, you know, faced against, like, the game's really hard. It is a roguelike style game where it doesn't want you to win a lot of the time. It wants you to try to find the broken shit to win. And you know, for a while I kind of sucked at it, but now I got a lot better, and I don't, it just feels good. Like, just
You know,
put your hands on
the
it. But know that it still has the limitations of kind of like a classic beat 'em up, but it does some smart things to kind of get around them.
you know the only thing I think that's like impeding me, I mean, aside from time, I don't think I've ever like had what I would describe as a like great experience. Maybe it's just the genre's not for me, but like beat 'em ups have almost never
Yeah,
resonated
you're
with me.
younger. I mean, you don't, you're like an
I mean, I
N64
like
kid.
Turtles in
I get
Time, and
it.
actually, you know, I like Turtles in Time, and strangely enough, I just remembered that I was like obsessed with like the Batman Returns Super NES game. That's a beat 'em up, right? Is that a beat 'em up?
I don't
I mean,
know.
there
That was
was
a
one.
platformer,
Yeah.
That's just
wasn't
like
it?
an action game, I think.
But like
But like
Castle Crashers or
Castle Crashers,
Uh,
amazing. But like the truth is, like, I don't really love beat 'em ups. I think it's like a lot of like nostalgia bait, and like that genre has always been super shallow, and I've never really like had too much affection for arcadey style games without a lot of, like, you know, some interesting RPG systems and whatnot. And there's a little bit of that stuff here, just like there is in Hades, but it's not like a deep RPG or anything. You know, it's, you know, if you like Hades, if you maybe have someone you could play with, or like, I mean, look at it. The game is pretty as fuck, dude.
I mean, it is one of those things that's like it's in our library, and
Yeah, and
there's gonna be
it's
a there's
so
gonna be a
good.
handful of games that I'm gonna at least pop in and try before the end of the
And
year.
like the voice acting's really good, and like, you know, I really like these characters. I don't know, dude. It's I feel like this one, if it gets slept on, is a crime, and you're gonna see it on my top 10 for sure.
I've heard the parry
Um,
system is really satisfying once you
Yeah, that's what
master
I'm
it.
saying. You dodge like a Makiri counter. You dodge into enemy attacks to counter them, essentially, to parry them. And like their heavy attacks, you can do it too, but it's like a riskier, slower move that you have to like more carefully time. But when you're really on
And you
it,
pay
dude,
for them more when you
it
fuck it
feels
up.
amazingly well. Yeah,
Cool.
Absolum, it's amazing. Play it. I mean, yeah, play it. It's really good. That's all I can say. If you like
Sweet.
Hades,
I
do people
do.
like
In fact,
hate? Do people like Hades?
I just
Allegedly.
finished Hades 2 the other night.
And
Chris Davis
honestly,
doesn't know.
it's
Chris
not
Davis never
like
played Hades.
exhaustively talky. You know, y'all gave me a little shit about that, but Nick, now that you finished the game, you can't fucking tell me that there
No,
was
I
too
said
much
I acknowledged
talking
it.
at the end of that fucking game. They just
I
were going
acknowledged it.
on and on and on.
You know, I think. I
That
mean, it
one
doesn't.
that
It
one
doesn't.
month that one moment where Orpheus's song started playing, I started to get a little teary eyed though.
It doesn't. It doesn't help that
Sorry,
I
Crispy.
was playing it towards the end of the year and I'm starting to feel the pressure, but also like I noticed that like my impatience with the dialogue, as amazing as the dialogue is, and the voiceover and whatever in Hades 2 and the story, and I think the story is fantastic. Like, but
Yeah,
there is
it's
also a
so
lot of
much.
dialogue that's just there because you're talking to this character. I don't think I ever. I mean, I never ran out of dialogue in that game, but like
No.
at one point, I had achieved. Let's romance is a big deal for me, and I had achieved what I had set out to achieve as far as romance goes. And as soon as that was done, I was like, I suddenly care a little bit less about what everybody has to say.
Dude, can
So
I
I
tell you
am
something?
ready.
Do y'all want to hear some shit? Do y'all want to hear some shit?
I always want to hear some shit.
So I finished the game in like, I don't know, 60 something runs or whatever. I never had any relationship in that game.
You fucking crazy piece of shit.
Is that not normal?
I mean,
Because
it's not for me. It's like half the reason I play
In
these games.
Hades?
in Hades too.
I thought the whole like bathtub, like
I
the
kept
hot tub thing was such
I
a.
never did it. I never did it.
You never went to
Because
the hot springs?
so the nectars, I just kept spreading them around to every single person and god in the game. Like
So you
every
didn't get
single
enough?
NPC probably had like 3 nectars. But like, you couldn't buy as many of those
That's
as
not
you
enough.
wanted. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it, like, were y'all grinding for those? I mean, I was
Dude,
trying to make
you can
builds and
make them.
shit, and like those nectar doors are not helping me that much.
Dude, I was giving nectars and ambrosias left and right, and I was by the end
Yeah,
of the
me
game, I
too.
still had like 12 unused nectars and
Did you
ambrosias
have
when I was
all
done. But
of
I
the
had like
keepsakes? Did you have all of the keepsakes?
I was missing 2 keepsakes,
Okay.
and I don't know where
I don't know. I mean, I just
what they
wasn't
are.
picking those doors when I was going on runs because it wasn't helping
I
my
mean,
run.
I stopped. I didn't. I got almost none of my nectar from
Why
picking
do
those
they only let you
doors.
buy one from the fucking shopkeeper? That was what pissed me off.
I
Oh,
don't know, but you can also make like 6 at a time in the cauldron.
you can
Was
make
it that way in one? I thought you could buy multiple as long as you had like 5.
I
Like if you
romanced
had,
everybody in the first Hades, and this one
there
for whatever
was
reason, maybe because it was an incantation that I
I don't
didn't
remember what
bother
it was.
making them.
I don't remember how it worked in the first game as far as
in the first
your
game you
limit.
could exchange 5 keys
Dude,
for
I was all
1
business.
nectar, and you could do that
Oh, the
over and over and over and
keys.
over again. 10 nectars got you a diamond.
That's right.
Or an ambrosia?
I mean,
or no,
I'm
yeah, no,
not.
it got you a diamond. 2 diamonds got you an ambrosia.
So who did you romance? I know who you romance.
Me?
Yeah, your op.
Nemesis.
Yeah.
Nemesis,
So
yeah.
so
I got really close with Eris
is that
too,
good
but
though? Like, is it worth it? I mean, I'm not done with hate. I mean, there's a whole epilogue. Like the first game.
I wasn't as satisfied with like the way it plays out as I was in the first game. Like Megara is still my boo all the way.
Can I like a romance?
But
So Artemis, I probably have given the most nectars to. Can you?
isn't Artemis your sister? No, you're
Dude,
no, she's
No.
not.
Dude, this is
She just
first
calls
of
you.
all.
She
first
calls
of
you
all-
sister. She just
cousin.
kept using the words.
Yeah.
She just kept using the word sister, and I
She's
realized
your cousin.
now it was more. It was
Yeah,
more of like
it's
an
Greek
endearing
mythology. Who gives a
Yeah.
shit, dude?
Thing. That is
She's
also
your-
true.
She's your
That is also
first
true.
cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am my own grandpa. It's Greek mythology. Okay, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Incest
Also,
don't matter. in
we're
Greek
not talking about
mythology.
Trails in the Sky, but like that is a game where the 2 lead characters are brother and sister, and they want to fuck each other.
Hell yeah.
But like,
Whoa.
adopted brother. But like,
Oh.
it's still weird, and they acknowledge that it's a little weird. But they
I've
want to
been
fuck each
there.
other.
Fucking dude, that's the whole.
What do you mean
De-
I've
the
been
Dex.
there?
That's a Dexter situation. They
Like
got weird in Dexter.
they grew up together from like smaller children. It is like a Dexter situation. It's fucked up.
And they realized in Dexter, like they were like, okay, we gotta shut this shit down. It got a little weird there for a second. but it was still
But like
weird when it
little
happened.
Trails in the Sky is like, you know, a lot of like inner thoughts as well. So you're getting like the, oh my god, do I got a boner, like kind of thing. They don't literally say that, but I mean, it might as well be, right? Like it might as well be. It's actually very. I mean, I'm playing it with Henry. Me and Henry are passing the controller. It's very child friendly. But I'm saying like, and he doesn't know that it's a little weird, probably, but it's weird.
Probably.
It's weird.
We'll talk about it next week.
All right. I'm suddenly very much looking forward to this conversation next week. Now we're going to wrap
Weird.
up the show with the 4-player minute.
Are you the reason that like you can't just like, you know, it's like, bro, I know they're not actually siblings, porn video. Okay, calm the fuck down.
Wait, what are you specifically asking me right now?
I'm saying like why can't porn just be normal?
Dude, I've been asking that question for
It's like
ages. It is weird.
I know they're not brother and sister. I don't want them to be brother and sister. Why
But
are you
that
calling them
is-
brother and sister?
Dude,
like
it's
let it go,
fucking-
dude. Like is this
Dude.
actually, is the title of a video doing it for people?
Dude, it is. I know this is an unusual rabbit hole to go down on this podcast, but it is unsettling how that has become like 80% of porn.
I don't understand. And it's literally just they're just lying, right? They're just these
Yeah,
titles.
of course.
Oh,
They're just lying in these
you
titles.
only enjoy sex if it's truthful?
No, what I'm saying is like no one actually believes
No,
it. You just
Crispy, it's like-
you're just calling
like-
them siblings in the
You got it
title of-
backwards, Crispy. Most people
Listen,
seem to.
I'm not actually arguing this, but it's fantasy.
I know,
I
but
know,
here's
but
the
try a
creep-
little harder. It's just
the weird
regular
thing is-
amateur
I'm not-
porn.
I'm not.
The weird
arguing
thing is,
for
the
incest
weird thing is
porn.
that it now feels like the vast majority of consumers of pornography are only into it if there is even the slightest hint that these two characters are related.
or that there's like
Or
a
like, you know,
power imbalance,
mother,
that
father,
isn't
or
really
mother,
there,
you know, like weird
or-
family shit.
Yeah, I don't like the most sexual organ in the human body is the brain.
Tell you what,
Yeah.
Nick tried to start
Hey,
the 4-player minute
guys.
about 2 minutes ago, and when people go to click on the timestamp in the YouTube version, they're going to
They're gonna
stumble
get
into
this.
a weird fucking conversation.
Real
Look,
quick.
90% of people have turned off the podcast already. That's just the truth about podcasts.
Thank God.
Look. I did something last week that I haven't done in quite a while, which was I went back and listened to our last episode like from start to finish, and I was like, I like our show. I'm pretty proud of our show. But one thing I didn't realize
Well,
that
during the show, you always think it's a travesty. So I'm glad
I mean,
you
sometimes-
went back to listen.
sometimes it is, sometimes 100% it is, but not all the time. But the timestamps that I put in the show notes in the format that I put them in is getting automatically picked up by like the podcast apps. So like it makes it like you can just hit next on the tracks and it'll skip to those and label them properly. And I'm like, that's crazy. That shit's getting so much better.
But does it account for like the insert ads that happen?
Our podcast doesn't have ads.
Well, no, like on Spotify or something like that.
Oh, I don't listen on Spotify. I listen on. I'm just saying on the podcast app that I use.
Yeah.
Like you can see the segment breaks on like the thing, and if you hit next, it'll like last week I hit next and it was like keeper, and it would just jump to the head of the conversation. It was based on the timestamp that I put in the show notes. I'm just saying. I know this is just me being like impressed by like what is probably lame technology at this point or like old technology, but like I was like,
or
this
AI.
this is cool. Or yeah, I mean it is AI for sure.
Yeah.
It's
Everything's
something actually
AI.
useful coming from AI. It involved like no extra effort on my part to get it to do that. And I was like, that's pretty cool. But anyways, neither here nor there. Time to wrap up the show.
Pretty
The 4-player
cool.
minute. Final thoughts for the week, Brad. Go.
Someone else go first.
Oh my God, Crispy.
Oh, okay.
Anybody?
I was kind of hoping that this was actually going to be a short show, and that we would do like short, quick mentions, and that maybe I could just be like, "Oh, okay, look at this," and stream through Discord a little bit of this game that I've been playing for the last 24 hours, called Lightyear Frontier.
Not just the last
Oh.
24 hours, the last 24 minutes when I was talking about Absolum as well, you motherfucker.
No, I actually wasn't, but I was talking about it I was playing it earlier in the show.
I have
But
heard about this.
Dang.
Lightyear Frontier. Okay, so it's a
mecha
it's
game.
a open world survival crafting tree puncher game.
But you're a man.
Tree puncher.
But you're a mech pilot. You have a mech
Ah.
that is like a big tractor that like moves things and and helps you plow fields and plant and then water and then harvest, and you can like build different like equipment for it to use, or like also build different modes for it to like transform into. Like you can turn it into a big combine that'll just like automatically harvest. Like you just drive it forward and it just like harvests a field of wheat. And the whole idea is that you crash land on a planet. It's got that whole Subnautica Satisfactory thing going on, where you crash land and you're just supposed to exploit the natural resources.
Fuck
You
yeah.
build this big cannon in the center of your farm that you use to shoot supplies to the other planets in the solar system, which you can like see in the sky usually. Like if the weather is right or like it's nighttime, you see all these planets floating around. They all need different things, right? So you're like harvesting and refining and making all this stuff and sending it to these planets, and it'll like shoot out the cannon and go poof. We just see it fly through the air. And as you're sending these shipments to these other planets, is increasing the power capacity of your mech, so you can start adding more components and more modifications to your mech to make it do a bunch of different things. And it is so cozy, it's so charming. You're just like building your own farm. You're a farmer in a mech, and you just run around in a mech, like deforesting the land,
plowing
harvesting
dude,
stone, and
you're
rock.
the dude from Avatar in the mech.
Yes,
Oh.
but
Stealing
you
the
like are
natural
alone on a
resources.
planet, and you're just
Oh.
living your own.
God forbid you have a
natural life.
companion, you motherfucker.
There is a companion who's annoying, and guess what? There's an option in the options to turn them off.
Wow. Way to make this come full circle. That's
It's
fantastic.
a mech farming game, and it's
I
so good. And it might come out next year. And I bought it because it was on sale, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start my scouting report on 2026 Fantasy Critic right now. Like,
Look at
I
you.
gotta see, is this gonna be a good one? And I hope you all forget that I said this, but it seems pretty cool.
All right.
Sweet. Hey,
Duly noted.
okay, my 4-player minute starts now. I'm just going to continue the Metroid conversation. As my 4-player minute, my final thought is actually about how this, to me, this is an ugly Sonic situation, right? I would not mind if Retro Studios delayed this game a little bit. Obviously, companions are core to the game, but I think there does need to be a more robust option in there for like turning off the other fucking character. I think that would be like super, like it's not just like your normal angry fans who can't be pleased ever. Like the previews, like from major sites even, were like, what the fuck? Like it seemed like no one was cool with this, or at least people were acknowledging that it seems out of place. So surely they've noticed, right? Obviously they don't have enough time to like do anything significant, but my hope is that I can turn the voice acting off, which coming from me, I hope you understand how important this is to me, because I'm the guy
It's pretty extreme.
who shames Nintendo for not putting voice acting in their games. But let me ask y'all, if I turn off the voice acting, which you can, and turn off subtitles, like is the game, will I not see? Do you think the subtitles are baked into like Samus's visor when an
Probably
NPC
not.
speaks? You don't think they are?
Probably,
But like you,
it's an
because like
accessibility
subtitles are
thing.
not something that they usually turn on for previews. Like when you see like official trailers and previews and stuff, you don't usually see subtitles. But in the Metroid Prime 4 trailer, footage, there are subtitles for this NPC, and I'm wondering if they're just sort of like baked into the visor because it's such a core part of this game that if you can't hear Miles or read what he's saying, do you think there's going to be a point where you don't actually know how to, like, you're not going to be able to progress? Like, like the game is expecting you to rely on his prompts in some respect or any, because companions are a core part of this game. There's
I feel like that seems.
five of them.
I think that seems pretty unrealistic. I don't think
Like
I don't think they're.
I
Gonna let
want to
you
be
do
clear
that.
here too. Like Miles gives her the missiles. The other footage has like the big mech. There's a dude in a mech. To bring this back to mechs, or he's maybe a robot. He's like punching through barriers, like the Metroidvania elements, the barriers. It's not like you're not getting through portions of this game without your companions. So like if I don't hear them or read what he's saying, like do you think I can play a functional game? This is the kind of stuff I'm thinking about, which again would be unheard of for me in almost any other situation. But just think about maybe I'll leave you with this. Think about the game that is most in your mind, the most like isolating, atmospheric, like tense, like it's about me and this environment in this setting, and this is the game for me. For me, that's Metroid. Think about what it is for you, and if you want a Miles there, because this is not just Miles in any other random game. It's Miles in Metroid. It's fucking me up. Anyways, that's it. That's it. Go ahead, Chris Davis or
Duly
whoever.
noted.
Or
Chris Davis, you're up.
I was gonna add on to your thing that maybe look at Metroid Prime Remastered. It was. I know it doesn't have like any dialogue in it, but it supposedly. I think I remember it having a lot of accessibility options, so maybe it's there for you. For my 4-player man, I just wanted to point out that I beat Ghost of Yotei. I 100%'d it. Love that game. Really good. Don't think I like it as quite as much as Tsushima. But
I feel like that's kind of the consensus.
Yeah.
Is that really? Is that true?
I mean, not in like a really, not in like an aggressive way. I think people are just like, that was really good. I don't know if it surpassed Tsushima. I think
so. So not like a Spider-Man 2 way, right? Where people are like, man, that kind of let me down a little bit.
But
no. I think I mean, I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people really enjoyed it. I think the reviews say that. I just think that diminishing returns because it's a sequel. And
it's
it came
Horizon Forbidden West situation.
It's a little bit of that, yeah. I mean, it did come out against so many fucking games in the exact wrong time.
But here's the thing about that comparison is I think regardless of how you may feel about Horizon, I think Horizon 2 is unquestionably the better game between the two.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I mean, it is.
But like people
Horizon
don't talk
Forbidden
about
West
it like
incredible.
As affectionately as the first game.
I think this is just a case of diminishing returns, like Chris Davis said.
Yeah.
Horizon Forbidden West is a glow up of the original.
Yotei's not.
This is Yotei. I think Yotei is just. I mean, it's
more of that.
It's more, but not as much.
I mean,
it's more, but not the increase is not as dramatic as going from Horizon 1 to 2.
Okay, so I will say this:
if you want to make the comparison.
I was satisfied with the story, but I could also see, at least from my perspective, clear as day, where the eventual DLC expansion is going to come. There are sections of the map that clearly look like they're designed to be like, oh, you'll go there in a $20 expansion.
But how much? But do you feel like the core game that you play, the story that you saw play, did it feel incomplete?
No. And I really did like that final boss fight, and then like the super
how many
boss.
hours? And how many hours did you
play? I think about 60. But that was me. That was me doing literally everything that you could. Like it's a lot less than what Tsushima did.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm just saying.
Can we go back to Infamous, please, Sucker Punch?
Nah.
I mean, I know Sly Cooper is not realistic, but I feel like Infamous.
Infamous has not aged well.
Look. The comment you just made about you can see where the inevitable DLC is going to be inserted or whatever. Like, it sounds to me like I mean that inherently in and of itself is not a bad thing as long as the
No.
core experience still feels complete. It
Yeah.
like this is not an Assassin's Creed Shadow situation where it's like I thought I still had to go like do like the end game and fight the final boss, and then the game just fucking ended, and I'm like, oh, well, that they literally just chopped the end of this game off, and that's
Yeah.
going to be the DLC.
I will say that like there are so many very cool little things in the game that I just do not want to spoil for anyone. But once you experience them, you're like, oh shit, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to talk about this. So I don't know. I doubt anyone else is really gonna make progress.
I'm
this year
going
on
back to it. I'm going back to it, and that
Okay.
leads.
I will never
Unless
play
you have
it.
anything else to say, that kind of leads right into my
No,
4-player.
go ahead.
I am on my third playthrough of Silent Hill F to get the true ending, so to speak.
Wow.
And so I've officially seen the second ending of the game, and damn, it is very different and very cool. And I just rolled right into the third playthrough, and I'm using the casual mode that they added in the update from last week. So I'm gonna skip the unnecessary part so I can get to the end faster because I'm just really interested to see how like the uh, the story eventually plays out and get that true ending. But as soon as I finish that third playthrough, my plan is to go right back into Yote, and Death Stranding
Yeah,
too.
man,
Like
come on. Fuck Yote, man. Play Chronos.
I mentioned earlier, there are several smaller games that I want to try. I have games that I'm prioritizing, and then I have games I want to try and squeeze in if I can. Chronos is one of them. I'm waiting for a sale on Chronos. It's still like $60. I checked yesterday. Um,
That's
and
not gonna launch
Mafia
yet.
of the Old
Yeah,
Country.
Christmas.
Mafia of the Old
Why?
Country is another one I
Why
want to
would you
try.
say that?
Say what?
Why is Chris Davis saying that's not going on sale?
I mean,
Because if
did
it
just
was,
Surprised that game's
it would
not-
have hit by now. It's
I
sale
know- look,
season.
I-
Everything's on sale right now.
Well, I mean, give it
Look.
a week. Jeez.
one way or the other, I will probably play Chronos before the end of the year. But
Look
like,
what
as far
Maddie
as my
just said in chat,
PS5,
though.
as far as my PS5 goes, it's Yote and Death Stranding 2. PC, I got Dying Light, Hell Is Us, and I want to try and squeeze in Chronos and Mafia the Old Country if I can. I got a lot of stuff that I want to play. Having Hades 2 off my plate, Hades 2 is fucking incredible, but having it off my plate feels so freeing.
Liberating.
Hey, you seemed like you
Yeah,
were.
I felt
like,
the exact same way
multiple
about
times
Silk
when you
Song.
were playing that game. You were not chill.
What do you mean?
Hades 2. I mean, like you were. I feel like your chill level with Hades 2 was a little low.
Well, I was like spinning my wheels for a little while. Like you said, you
But,
finished
like,
the game in like 60 runs. I did like 120.
What the fuck? But it's not. Were you like?
I'm just telling you, dude. I'm just telling you. That's what happened.
How is that possible?
I spent 80 hours and 120 plus runs in Hades 2. And I don't regret a minute of it. I loved it. I had a little situation there where I was like, I feel like something should be happening to kind of progress the story, and it
And you
wasn't.
were just
So I probably did
literally
like
doing
I
the
probably did
wrong
like
thing.
20 runs where I was like, why is nothing new happening? Like, what the
But
fuck
I feel like
is
the
going on?
game really signposts like that stuff pretty
Way
clearly.
to make me
which
feel
is what was
stupid,
driving.
Brad.
Well, I
Way to
don't
make me feel
know.
stupid.
I feel like it's semi unique to you. I don't.
I even
Maybe I
looked
need
up
to-
how to unlock the secret aspects of the weapons, and I never got it. It never happened.
That is, I think those really are supposed to feel kind of secret, because I
Okay.
didn't get all of them either. Because
It's
yeah,
not necessary. I didn't get any of them.
Yeah. Oh.
Anyways, none of them. And I looked up how to do it, and there's still a certain amount of randomness that you have to kind of rely on to unlock it.
You did so many
And
runs,
it never
too.
happened.
Huh.
I did so many fucking runs. But neither here nor there. I beat the game. I saw a lot of it. I even did an extra run or two after I rolled credits, just because there's some stuff you want to see how it like changes up afterwards. Great game, but yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of like that. I'm really excited to get back to Dying Light, because I was really enjoying my time with that. And as I said, I have a bunch of other stuff I want to play. So lots of cool stuff. A lot of stuff coming in December.
Can I borrow your
like
VR?
TikTok.
Can I borrow your VR?
I said you could. I said you could.
Can I this weekend?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after the show.
I feel like
guys,
you're not playing Lumines.
dude, I didn't even talk about the week that I've had. I had every intention of playing Lumines this week.
Okay.
My week got
Right.
fucked. Okay, so, anyways,
Yeah.
guess I'm car shopping this weekend too. By the way, which was not on my fucking bingo card for this year. So, one less,
Get a
more
Toyota or
time that I'm gonna
something.
lose.
Don't overthink it. You know. I'm serious, dude. Don't overthink it. Just get like a Toyota.
I'm just gonna raise my eyebrow at you, Brad. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. That's our show.
Is
Next
that
week is
controversial?
thanks. I didn't say it was controversial. It's just like I'm not overthinking it. I got it under control. It's just something I wasn't planning for. Guys, that's our show. Thank you so much for listening. Again, next week is Thanksgiving, so we're not entirely sure what the plan is going to be. It'll either be a podcast or some kind of game stream or whatever. It may be over a week before you hear from us again on the podcast. If you happen to be a graphic designer in the community, want to help me work on a new coat of paint for our branding before the end of the year, be sure to reach out to me in Discord. Yeah, and if we don't see you or talk to you before Thanksgiving, have a lovely, safe family holiday, and we'll catch you on the other side. Be good to each other, play video games, and good night.